Faites vos achats, transférez de l'argent et réglez vos factures en toute sécurité sans vous déplacer avec Orange Money. Le gain de temps change avec Orange.
La vie change avec Orange.
The Miss P Show is brought to you by Orange Cameroon. Today, changes with Orange.
It's a brand new episode of the Miss P Show. Thanks for tuning in. Our guest today comes in first. She's a lady, feisty, ambitious, outgoing. Cameroonian by origin, but born in the UK. She's moved to Cameroon in the last few years and set up Ovamba Solutions, which targets at resolving a lot of the problems small and medium-sized businesses face. Capital investment. VIOLA LLEWELYN is with us today. She was the 9th most notable African by Bold and Fearless in 2014. How do you like that title? Did I get it right?
Yes, you did, and thank you.
Thanks for coming on the Miss P Show. I'm excited to have you here.
Yeah, me too.
Except for the fact that you've been here 4 years when you were a kid and a Cameroonian, of course, why did you choose to settle down here, to start a business here?
You know, I have to hand it to my business partner, Marvin Cole, when we met about 5 years ago, and he kept telling me, Africa is booming. Africa is going to be something one of these days. I said to him, you've got to be joking. I've been there. I've been there. I saw nothing. I left at the age of 16, and I never looked back. I didn't come back to Cameroon for about 25 years, except for 2 months when I was 21. So I took a trip, and as the plane is touching down into Douala, and I see a completely changed landscape. And I thought, my goodness me, some things were way better than I last remembered.
Yeah.
And some things were not as good as I remembered. So I went back and I said to Marvin, you're absolutely right. Let's get to work. And here we are today.
Did you do a lot of research before moving back?
We did a fair amount of research, I must admit. If you look at Africa country by country, it doesn't tell a good story. It says it's fractionalized and there's not enough critical mass in order to sustain most business models. But if you have a regional approach and you're dealing with the pain point of a business requirement, then you can start to build products and services around it.
I've heard a lot of people talk about coming back to Cameroon. The question lies in what am I really going to do? But then again, do you think their influence would be better from there? Like some do, come here, build homes and give them away for rent, start businesses while they're there and hand them over to their families? Or do you think it's worth actually taking that bold step and coming home?
It all depends on what you do and what you're passionate about. It could be very well that you don't need to be in any particular place in order to be a meaningful part of the Cameroon economy. It all depends on you.
There's a little bit of a problem when it comes to diasporans moving back home as well, because the locals feel like they're privileged. They're giving more incentives to come back home. Do you think that is justified, or do you think they should come back home and work under the same conditions as the locals here?
Well, the bottom line is that when you do come back, you are in the same conditions as the locals geographically, wherever you physically stand.
Yeah.
But the Cameroon government seems to have addressed some of the challenges that many of us have faced as it relates to tax relief and certain reduction of burdens through some of the amended tax codes that came out. I think it was April of 2013 or 2014, something of the sort.
Yeah.
Now, although they've made this effort, it is very difficult to understand the tax code. Believe me, we've been through it for the last few months. And even when you're trying to manage the expectations of investors abroad, you have to find a way to explain or figure out where your deductions are in order to say your net ROI is going to be X, Y, and Z. So there's always a difference between service industries and their revenue and whether you're doing a product and you're just buy and sell them, as they say. So you have to really get some really good advice, and you have to consider how you're going to price yourself.
Talking about Ovamba now, I'm really interested because I'm a young business girl and I need money for my business.
Okay.
Explain to me, what is Ovamba all about?
Okay. Ovamba is all about taking a look at what the challenges are. Now, any novice who stands up and says, I'm an Africa specialist, is going to start out with the same refrain. Oh, access to capital is difficult in Africa. We created a platform that allows borrowers and lenders to be matched appropriately using our technology in order to fast deliver capital where it's best needed.
What security do you have as a lender?
The lenders have the security of the fact that all of the loans are collateralized. But now we've got individuals that can come to Avamba and say, you know what, I'm interested in putting 20 million CFA to work or whatever, and I'll leave it with you guys for this period of time. And we have had individuals come in, invest for like 6 months and say, thanks, this was a great return. I'd like to cash out. Sat down in the office, received a check, and they've gone and told their friends it actually works.
Yannick Noah has a project. Have you heard about that?
You know, I've heard whispers.
What do you think about it?
The fact that Yannick Noah wants to do this, I say kudos to him. He's gone from being tennis player, singer, hot guy that's been married a few times, kids that are doing really well in sports.
And now real estate.
He's now into real estate. But I thought he was going to do a real estate agency. I'm not really sure what he's got planned there.
We're looking to discover that as well. The truth is, we know that here in Cameroon, we need to upgrade in terms of real estate. When you look at the houses, as soon as you're landing into the country, trust me, it's embarrassing. When I'm on the flight and foreigners are taking pictures, I'm like,
I know.
Oh no, not now. Just wait. Just wait.
It makes you think that we need something like a specific spot for them to go and take their picture.
Exactly.
But that wouldn't really tell the truth. So
no,
I guess they have to do what they have to do.
Can I focus on the gender issues
I
first?
wish you would. Most definitely.
What are some of the problems you encountered as a woman setting up here?
The number one, receiving resumes from individuals who say, "Dear Sir." I absolutely detest that. It's as if, and when I challenged somebody on it, they said, well, you can't blame me. Most general managers are men. The other thing that's been difficult as a woman is the fact that when you're raised in the West, you have a very direct way of speaking to people. And I know that I have a tone that can be easily misunderstood. So if I'm talking to a man and I'm telling him blah, 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 and he's like, who is this woman talking to?
You shouldn't be talking to me like that.
Yeah, they shouldn't. And I've had somebody erupt into great explosions because he said, you need to look away and stop looking at me so strong in the eye. This is just disrespectful. You're a small girl, which is another. No, seriously.
Straight in your face.
He screamed, and instead of telling me, he told the person I was with, tell her to stop looking at me, that she needs to have some respect. And look away. You don't look a grown man so strong in the eye. I'm like, I thought I was just being communicative.
Yeah, I've got something to tell you, and I'm telling you, might as well look at you.
That was interesting. But otherwise, I find that most people are fine. They're pretty good. And luckily we're in a line of business where the thing I've got that you want is universal. You want some money, and I don't think you care what I look like as long as I provide you with good, honest, transparent, speedy service compared to all of your other alternatives.
How do you move from, being so pleasant and outgoing and fun to being, okay, now you need to go left?
You sound just like me, actually, and that is how it's just like all of a sudden my head rotates and the other side comes out. Majority of the people in our office are very quick. They're smart and they are coachable. They make mistakes and they've had to bring their professionalism up quite a few notches. We have individuals who've been with us since day one, and when I look at the journey that they've taken from the first day, June 2nd, 2014, to here we are, 17th of June, and I see them managing large groups of interns, for example, or one of our staff members who was just this young girl still at college, I think doing a master's. And one of her first challenges was she came to me shaking. She said, I'm so afraid to speak to older men and ask them for their details in order for me to process a loan. I had to sit and really coach her on, you're the one with the power right now in this dynamic. And you have to be sensitive to the fact that you're helping him. And you just have to be brave enough to do that. And today, oh my goodness, I don't care who you are, she can talk to you.
I'm going to ask your headscarf.
Yes.
On Facebook, I've seen you headscarves all along. Like almost every day you've got a new one on. Is it some sort of a new thing you're doing, or is it a phase you're going through?
I'm always in a phase. And I guess as a woman, I looked in the mirror and I really liked what I saw when I had a headscarf on. But there was this one day when a dear friend of mine, Steve Chumba, took me to see his tailor, who is brilliant, leftover cloth. He said, oh, maybe you can wear a headscarf. I put it on and I went, my goodness, I'm slightly attractive, and I really, really like it.
Slightly?
Yeah.
Amazing.
A lot. But I'm on TV, I want to be polite. So I thought, I really like this.
How do you juggle family life with work?
That's
you must
such
be
a trick question, isn't it? I have a phenomenally supportive husband. If it wasn't for him, none of this would be happening. Vincent was the one that one day I went to him and I said, I've just left my job. Your brilliant, well-paying job In finance? Yeah. Why? I have no idea why. I just know it's time to go. And my husband said, I'm giving you 5 years. I'll give you every penny I've got. And literally 5 years to the day, Ovamba funded.
And as a personal friend, I have the privilege of sharing a story that is so close to your heart and touches me as well. You have no kids of your own.
No, I don't.
But you had.
I did.
A baby.
Yeah, he was lovely. His name was Asema. I was one of those young 19-year-olds who, like, oops, oh dear, here I am, I'm pregnant. Of course, your mother is screaming at you, oh, your future is finished, it's over, it's over. But it was unfortunate that from the minute my son was born, I knew something was wrong, and he lived for 7 months. And I remember when he died, I actually felt him leave me, and he would be, what's the date today? Next month, he would be 30 years old, and I often wonder, what kind of a parent would I have turned out to be? I hope to goodness I would have been at least halfway decent. But it's one of those things that whenever I do speak to young women, these things are not the end of the world. Yeah. Sometimes they're the beginning of the best journey of your life. Sometimes you give birth to your very best friend. And sometimes it's the wake-up call you need to take responsibility and just get on with it.
Do you ever feel any void?
No, never.
You're a strong woman.
Thank you. I have the love of wonderful nieces and nephews. My godson in the US, I have a goddaughter who is just so engaging and is modeling in South Africa at the moment. She's Cameroonian too.
Wow.
And I've held numerous babies, and it's great to be able to give them back. And plus my lifestyle doesn't really accommodate it.
So if you had to talk to people in the diaspora and encourage them to move back to Cameroon, what would you say?
I would tell them it's not the old Cameroon that they've been used to hearing about with all the complaints and negativity and lack of opportunities. Yeah. Cameroon is poised at a very exciting time where the creative arts are finally being able to get monetized. We've got people like our friend Anret who are doing fashion design. We've got individuals bringing Western investors coming in. We've got music, we've got art. The creative arts are alive in Cameroon. And there are so many ways in which people have decided, you know what, we're just going to do it for ourselves in spite of everything. They're collaborating together. Yeah. They're using technology. They're inventing things. They're addressing issues, and they're not waiting for the government to give them permission to do anything. They're just sitting down and finding like-minded people and figuring out, what do we want to do together? And if we don't like it, we'll try something else. And this is a phenomenal time to be back home. It's something that will lead to a great future beyond our own lifetimes. This is a legacy time for diasporans.
Well, Viola, thanks for coming on. It's an honor having you on my show because you're very inspirational. And trust me, as much as you're my friend, I look up to you a lot.
I appreciate that.
You've heard it from her. If you want to come back, please don't wait. You're going to come in when it's all packed up and we've moved ahead and probably you're still ages behind. We're going to go on a commercial break now. And when we come back, we've got loads of fun piled up for you. Stay tuned.
Hello, pronto.
You need to communicate abroad for long hours? Orange offers you the international bonus pack with day, week and month bundles. Receive up to 30,000 franc bonus on your calls to 20 countries. Subscription on #131*4#.
Today changes with Orange.
We're back, guys. In 2014, agriculture contributed to 44% of the national GDP. In the spirit of returnees from the diaspora, we look at a young farmer who has found his own way of growing crops all year round without getting stained. When we talk about farmers, we talk about the dirty boots, we talk about the torn shirts, but here we have the greenhouse technologies by ROLAND FOMUNDAM.
My name is ROLAND FOMUNDAM, and in a nutshell, I would like to describe myself as a second-generation farmer. I grew up on the farmlands in Cameroon, and by the time I left the country, I realized I had left a big problem behind. Studying abroad gave me an opportunity to realize the enormous potential that introducing a technology that would improve agricultural productivity in Cameroon would be. And that is when I started looking out for different ideas that could be implemented, and then came upon the greenhouse technology. The greenhouse technology employs a technique in which you can grow a wide variety of crops year-round, irrespective of season, using fewer inputs such as fertilizers, manure, water, labor, and even the land you're using. The affordable greenhouse technology is the first of its kind in the country and in the region. It is different because no one else is doing it. No one else has deployed it, and no one else is doing it the way I am doing. What is so unique about the technology is the impact that it has, or that it could have, on the general communities, because with it, almost everyone can be a part of this whole agricultural scheme. I mean, our president talks of a second generation agriculture as a gateway towards emergence. And I believe that the affordable greenhouse technology and the greenhouse ventures business plan, it is certainly a vehicle to take us towards emergence. So far, we have been able to grow over 22 different types of crops at different times of the year, times that you actually don't have them on the market, and in more quantities than you actually grow them outdoors. So far, we've grown from tomatoes to lettuce to cabbages to corn, beans, green peppers. There was a problem of affordability. So my idea was finding ways to customize this technology to make it even more affordable, which I did. My greatest challenges are being accepted within the context in which I am working, and also laying the path for something that has never been done. The greenhouse technology is fairly new in Cameroon. It is not something that someone had done before. So I have had to make the mistakes that many had not made. I have had to make mistakes that others wouldn't have to make. And I've had to learn things in ways that others would have to just learn from there and move on. Since no one has done what I am doing, it was very difficult for others to realize that what I am doing actually has an impact. Many people are used to seeing people coming from the diaspora setting up nightclubs, hotels, bars, and other clothing stores and this and that. Coming back home was also the bigger problem because one, I had problems with family accepting that I should come back. Two, believing that I can actually come back and live in Cameroon like others have lived. I am very, very happy because one, the decision I made coming home was one which brought joy to me. The work I have done, the successes I've had, is that which makes me sleep well at night. And then more especially is the successes that I am able to realize now and later on are those which I know that would bring happiness to many more people. There are a number of people who are coming back to Cameroon to invest, but unfortunately most of them are not Cameroonians. So it is always something to look back and ask yourself, what are you doing somewhere else that you could be doing here? And why aren't you making it somewhere else that you could actually make it here? The key thing is actually uncovering the opportunities that Cameroon has and dwelling on them, rather than just sitting and talking about what is wrong about Cameroon, because at the end of the day, there is something wrong about everywhere we are.
I bet you didn't think farming could be so glamorous. For more information, check us out at www.facebook.com/The Miss P Show, and on Twitter, follow us at The Miss P Show. In the diaspora, I know you like to have some fun and chill out time, and at The Miss P Show, we too like to do the same. Achale, who was the winner of Star de Demain in 2006, shares with us the difference between studio-made music and live music. Enjoy.
Hello everybody, I'm Michelle, a musician, the artist. I started music when I was young. When I was 8 years, I started singing the choir. Later on, I had to join some groups, musical groups, a cappella groups. Later on, started studio, voicing, choruses, backups, and the rest. I'm working on second album, and very soon it's gonna be on TV, internet, Twitter, everywhere. The title of the album is Ebolo. The one word I have for my fans is love. I love you all. Thanks for supporting. Just be focused, discipline, and let's be one. I prefer live music because live music is an experience. It creates an experience. It brings out the quality of your music. It brings out the power of your musicality. Live music is fun. Live music is sharing with the people. Live music is love. Live music is, to me, live music is everything, you know. Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, your heart could see alerts at 23. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's just a part of a plan. Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day, and I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now, oh, yeah, take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Please don't hate on my bed home. I'm thinking out loud, baby, we found love right where we are. It's like I can't forget your lips, forget her, I'll forget a smile. I know I am the kind of man, but baby girl, I'm not a child. As I sit down, girl, with my voice, no I think about you. I score your style 10 on 10. That's why I think about you. But oh, when you walking down the street, girl, I feel so insecure. Even when I step up to you, you got me feel so insecure. Your strength, that all that stuff got me feeling so insecure. Because you are so beautiful, that I feel so insecure. Break it down. Whatever will I get a courage to say hi. I even thought about making an apple pie. As I stare, girl, in the mirror, no, I think about you. With these eyes, I can see any further, cause I'm thinking about you. But oh, when you walking down the street, girl, I feel so insecure. Even when I step up to you, you got me feel so insecure. Your strength, them all that stuff got me feeling so insecure. Because you are so beautiful, gotta feel so insecure.
The Miss P Show was brought to you by Orange Cameroon. Today changes with Orange.
Pour ceux qui veulent tout savoir sur le monde encore plus vite, pour ceux qui veulent tout partager encore plus vite, pour ceux qui veulent vivre leur passion
partout où ils sont.
Pour ceux qui veulent accéder à leur business partout et à tout moment, chez Orange, nous savons que vous aimez toujours aller plus vite. C'est pourquoi nous vous proposons des offres 3G+, adaptées à chacune de vos envies. Surfer change avec Orange.
La vie change avec Orange.